Hi, and welcome to Learn with Gravelholic. And today we have Peter from Gravel and Grit and Grind, the UCI World Gravel Series event. And these are some of the things that we will be talking about today.
I was just thinking, wow, Marianne is coming to my race. Is this happening? We were running for World Championship 2028. We had a candidate for that with Hamsta. Actually, in the end, we had a signed contract.
All right, let's get on with the full interview. Hi and welcome, Peter.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm have some office time now, so I try to make some plans for the future and so on.
You told me when we just spoke briefly earlier, right? And you told me that you hurt your ribs. Do you mind telling the audience about that little incident? Why and where you hurt your ribs?
Yeah, actually, it was on the World Championship gravel course, not in competition because I wasn't riding, but I was out on recon, and everybody who was there know about the tricky, very steep hill at the end.
The one that Mohoric also fell, or?
No. He fell on. It was flat where he fell. But actually, I have seen how he handled this steep hill, and it's quite insane. I think because when first it's very steep upwards, and then it's very steep downhill, and I heard about it, so. I make a little stop on the top, and I had one rider behind me, and I think I let him go, and I could like take this very carefully. I'm 48 years old. It was just on recon.
48 years young.
Yeah, but then I and my gravel skills are not really that high, so I was very cautious, and it was very steep, and I did one big mistake. I let one foot be unclicked, not on the like loose, and in that position you can't handle your bike like with one leg only. So it was I was doomed. And so I was holding on the hoods on the brakes, and I went to the loose side of this steep path, and I thought now this is not going to end well, but I couldn't when I fell. I couldn't use my hands to stop the fall, so my body has to take the hit, and there was a rock, so I got a rock on my rib, and yeah, it's I'm hurt since then. I have been recovering, so I think it will take at least three weeks, and then we'll see. So, but
yeah, I've done that as well. Playing ice hockey, I hurt my ribs, and it is super painful. I hope you can sleep properly. That's probably the worst thing, right? So
yeah, it is. Actually, it is the harder thing. Now it's quite okay, but I had my share earlier. Some nights has been difficult, but now it's okay. But actually, in the end, it was totally worth it. Because on this ride, actually, if you're going to Fell, it's a good place to do it. A place everybody knows about, and a place that is well known in the gravel community now. And also, I on this ride, I dropped Wout van Aert. That's a lifetime memory I have. It was earlier before the fall. And first me and Wout, we dropped Jan Bakkelands, and then I dropped Wout.
Wow, that's impressive.
And
that's definitely one to tell the grandkids someday.
It's and actually we dropped Backelans, but then Wout stopped and wait for him, and I went on.
Got you.
But in my perspective, I dropped them both.
All right. So reason why we're talking with you today, and why I'm super keen to talk to you about the things that I have on my little list here today, is because you are the organizer of Gravel Grit and Grind, one of the UCI Gravel Series events that took place 2 years now in a row in Halmstad. I'm lucky enough because I am from Halmstad in Sweden and the West Coast, the beautiful West Coast. But you, now I'm trying to recognize your dialect, but you're a little bit from northern part on the West Coast, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, it's not far from Halmstad. It's just like 40 minutes on the highway north from Halmstad in Varberg. So it's quite near, same area, but
very beautiful city as well.
Pardon?
Very beautiful city as well.
Yeah. Yes, it's very, and actually we the gravel the gravel area, the roads and the forest and the coastline is quite similar. We have quite open landscape at the coast, and then some forests, just some like 30 minutes from the coast. There are forests and a little bit.
The thing is, when I am originally from the middle part of Sweden, from Småland, where
yes.
And so I moved to Halmstad. What is that now? The year of 2000. And of course, I didn't cycle back then, and so I always thought that that part of Sweden is super flat, of course, but that's only because I spent the time on the beaches. So I didn't realize how undulating and how many meters of altitude that you can actually get while cycling if you just go a few kilometers inland. It's crazy, and that's what we saw as well with the routes that you now had in the different events, right? And the way when I've been cycling around there as well, you can get quite a few meters of altitude if you want to.
Yes, it can wear you out. It's you can decide how you take the hills, but I can tell you that it's not like now in Italy in Pieve di Soligo. It was that was steep. We don't have that kind of steep hills.
We have crazy gradients there.
So that gives a little bit of perspective, but like gravel wise, it's just wonderful landscape we have with the lakes and the forests and the old small farms and stuff. It's very, very nice landscape, I think.
Exactly. So for you that's now listening or viewing, you should definitely check out the Gravel Grit and Grind Instagram account. You will see how beautiful landscape it is. I mean, you've seen some of my footage as well, of course, because that's around the same areas basically. But it is beautiful. So come and visit Sweden, and there's going to be a Gravel Grit and Grind next year as well. But before we start talking about the event, I just want your cycling background. Can you just, because I never asked you that question. I mean, I can understand that you're probably a vivid cyclist, but tell me, how did it start, and what have you done throughout your career cycling wise?
Yeah, I have always, my interest in cycling has been there since I was a kid. Actually, I remember how, like in the early 80s, when I was just a kid, I remember how, for example, Tommy Prim was in his prime, and I remember when he was on the news, and he was also from my hometown, Varberg, so he was very well known. So my cycling interest was born with that. and I'm grown up in the countryside, so we use bike everywhere we were going. We used bikes, so I have been riding bikes since I was a kid, but not like in sports. I never been in younger age. That was not. That was not a subject at all for me. But then I moved from my hometown and lived on other places, and I tried to ride bikes sometimes, like for recreational, but not very much. But then I moved back to Varberg, and we have a really nice mountain bike marathon competition, Bockstensturen.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. Okay.
It's one of the biggest and oldest and one of the best marathon MTB races we have. And actually, the race was quite in the same roads I've been riding as a kid.
Okay.
So when I moved back, I think I really want to do Bockstensturen. So I went to bought a mountain bike, and and then I did Bockstensturen and start riding mountain bike. And after a few years, I bought a road bike, and I got kind of hooked in that. So now I did both mountain bike and road, and then I start a little bit with triathlon. So I bought a time trial bike.
Yeah.
So now I did some mountain bike, some road, some triathlon. So it's growing, and then I bought my first gravel bike. After that, and now I think I ride most my road bike and gravel, of course. It's I don't do triathlon anymore, but so I've been cycling for the last 15 years, perhaps, as a recreational. I did some like some races, but some Gran Fondos and stuff like that, and been traveling with around doing Gran Fondos and some races on cool places and stuff. And actually, it's a part of travel and see new places and meet people has been one of the motivation to do bicycle races, like on competition level for me, as a 40 plus.
Yeah, so tell me about that. Where did, I mean, Gravel Gluten Grind now again? It's a UCI gravel race, and this series is just growing in popularity. There's tons of people attending them. There was a great uptake from first year to second year, as I understand it. But just walk me through how did this idea come to be, and also how did you did you know that you wanted to do this before you knew about the UCI gravel series? And just talk to me about that. Where did it stem from?
Yeah, actually, it was it was some different circumstances that put me on the right spot at the right moment, I suppose. If that was faith, or I don't know. It just happened, and I really don't know how to start, but it has been. There was a period that I was riding a lot of gravel with my friends here in Varberg, and like I discovered how how great the gravel can be, and I got interested in the gravel community, and like looking at all bike packing and that kind of adventure bike riding, that part of the gravel community. And I also have some ambition as a race organizer in both road and cyclocross. So and also marathon MTB, because I have been helping the organization with the Boxing student for many years. So I had like a bike race organization ambition, and I also had some experience from it. And then me and my girlfriend Carolina, we were in Sarajevo in Bosnia Herzegovina at the Grand Fondo World Championship. And when we sat there, we UCI representative had a presentation about this new gravel World Series, and I saw a map with the different races around the world, and I saw there was no races in north of Europe like in Scandinavia, and I know we have so much good gravel here in northern Europe. So I was a bit surprised. So I asked the UCI representative, do you want to race in northern Europe, like in southern Sweden? And he said, of course. So he sent me some info about it. And on the way home from Sarajevo, me and Carolina, we were making some plans. Okay.
When is this time-wise? Like,
yeah, this was in autumn, like yeah.
So 3 years ago now, then.
Yeah, autumn 2021.
Yeah.
So it was less than 1 year before our first gravel grit and grind in Halmstad. So there's basically no time to create an event like this. But we were moving very fast, and we already in the car from Sarajevo on the way home, we decided that Halmstad is our number one choice. So we approached the city of Halmstad and asked if they were interested of this kind of event, and they were very interested. So they have been supporting this from day one, and that gave me the courage to move on. Like I had a different career at that time. I've been working as a HVAC engineer for 25 years. So I dropped that profession and became
I didn't know that you were working full time, and then you decided to go all in on this.
Yes, all in. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
No, I had some other plans as well. So it was not only gravel grit and grind, but I dropped the old profession totally, and I also start to work with Claremont, the beer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that was so I start to make the plans for gravel grit and grind that winter, and we had our first race last year in August. So that was very quick. And
what is the hardest thing to plan? Is it the route? Is it what is? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what kind of bits and pieces that you have to plan. So what is it that you need to think about, and what are the hardest pieces of those?
I think you have to think about the experience, because people are coming from all over the world, and they give you their time, and they
Just a
pay.
quick question on that. How do you know how many nationalities you've had now, first
Yeah.
and second year?
Yeah, it was this year now. It was 33 different nationalities.
Wow.
So that's amazing for me. Like
Oh, and
second
how many
year,
participants were we?
I think there were 590 unique
Yeah,
participants.
that is pretty awesome. That
Yeah,
is pretty awesome.
it was actually the you really know that this is an international event because
Mhm.
people are coming from all over the world, and
Yep.
I feel so blessed when I talk to people that they come to Halmstad just for this, and I think, wow, that
Yeah.
well, actually that gives me so much energy because um, I feel so rewarded. Actually, it's yeah, that's really one of the reasons I do this, to reach out like that and
Yeah.
really create that.
I mean,
something.
I mean, I haven't been racing much or at all. Gravel and Grind 2 years ago was actually my first ever race. That's the first race I ever did, and the second time I ever raced was this year in Gravel and Grind. So I haven't done too many races. One reason is it's tricky for me to travel with my family and the kids and everything, so I don't have that opportunity to do that. But then when I saw the announcement of that there's going to be a UCI gravel series race, World Series race in my hometown, I was like, I'm totally blown away. That was so cool. I just had to attend it. But
Yeah.
let's get back to the point of the planning, because that's so interesting to hear. And what the trickiest things you said, you were talking about the experience before I interrupted you. Sorry about that.
Yes, actually, you have to make everything work. Like get the start, the area for the start and the finish, and how you have to think that through. Everything has to work. And the first year we have start and finish for our main stage 2. We have a 3-day event, so we are on
Yeah,
three different locations.
save that. I want to talk about that a little bit later.
And it's not easy, but I will hold on to that concept because it's quite unique, and I think many of the international riders appreciate it. So
Yeah.
we will hold on to that.
So maybe we should just explain this now for the ones that haven't understood this. So the Gravel Grit and Grind is actually a stage race with 3 stages: a time trial on the Friday, the main Queen stage, Queen stage on the Saturday, and then slightly shorter kind of stage on the Sunday. That's the concept that you've done now, first and second year, right? And it's I absolutely love it. I haven't had the opportunity to race it myself, the full stage race, and I don't know if I have the stamina or the trained enough to do it. But I've this year I was more fortunate to be able to watch it a little bit more on the Friday and the Sunday, and it is completely super cool to have a gravel stage race. That must be, as you said, really unique, right? I mean, I've seen these ultras, the people go for 48 hours, whatever.
Yeah.
In a one go, but no stage races. There's not too many, right?
No, hardly no one. But I think there are. When we started this, I heard about one gravel stage race in Switzerland, and but except from that, I have not seen it anywhere else. And actually, the reason was that in the first the first information I got from UCI, that they had in the concept, there was you can choose as an organizer to do at least three stages
okay.
with the time trial. so actually the concept came from the idea of the concept came from UCI or the organization,
Wow.
Gravel World Series organization. But then they changed it. So, but I had already took the decision of the 3-day stage race, and I told the city about it's a 3-day concept.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt I will keep the concept, and I realized that no one else in Gravel World Series has choose that concept.
Exactly. It's very unique.
I was very surprised because it's. I was very surprised of that, and I really don't know why they don't choose it. I can understand it is a lot of work and stuff, but you have it's more worth if you come from abroad to come to do 3 stages. You have more value for your trip, I think. And so I kept the concept, and I make stage 2 as the main course, the main event with
Mm-hmm.
the World Championship qualifying race. And you can do 1 or 2 or 3 stages. It doesn't matter, all 3. So you can see every stage as a single competition, or you can do, we have an overall general classification for the 3 days also. But I'm still, it's still quite unique, I think. And
Yeah, I would love to do it myself. I think it's super, super cool. But so just now, was it yesterday or the day before? Tour de France just released the how the 2024 Tour de France was going to look like, and Christian Prudhomme, they presented this all this, and there's so many people now analyzing it and everything, right? So you are kind of the Christian Prudhomme of Gravel Get and Grind, and this, I was going to come back now to the route, because that's so important. People are scrutinizing the route when it comes to Tour de France and all these big races like the Giro they released last week, and how route building and the whole route kind of thing, it's so important, and that's also what leaves an impression on the riders afterwards. How do you go about that? How do you think about that?
Yes, I actually I have very good help from Ulf. Ulf, he lives in Simlångsdalen. He writes a lot.
Shout out to Ulf.
Yes, and he's now he's working with the stage 2, giving me some suggestions, and I look at it, and we go out riding it, but Ulf is looking from the like rider's perspective. I have to look at it from organization perspective. Like, are they landowners who I can have trouble with, because that's that's a difficult part. Every year I have to like pay someone. Like first year I had to pay a fee for the bridge, like a blackmail. It was like a blackmail. What does it? Utpressning.
It was blackmail. That's the word.
The day before the race, I had to pay like 1,000 euros.
Oh my
like,
God!
send it tonight, or it will be no race. And this year, I had a different kind of. It was a landowner contact me that he was talking about. He was not happy, and it was about stage 3. And I like the days before the race, there are a lot of pressure on me, but so to handle this kind of issues, it's quite hard. So, but I'm quite good to keep calm. But when we start negotiate, it was. He said there could be damage on the road, and I said, yeah, but we can fix it with some gravel. And yes, that was okay, he thought. Can you write that down, he asked. And yes, so I write him an email. And I was thinking that I have to limit this to something. So I won't build a new road for him, because he only wants something. And like the damage on the gravel, it's nothing. There are like big machines driving there all the time, and like a bike is nothing. So it was more that he wants something. And so I said, I can't really find the English word for the one tractor with gravel. It's slap. How do you?
Okay, the trailer or the tractor.
Yes, one tractor trailer with gravel. That's
what he wanted.
Perfect. On your road.
But
he emailed me back. I want 3 trailers. And
okay.
I was thinking, yeah, that will solve my problem. So I give him 3 trailers with gravel. So after the race, I bought. Yeah, I paid for 3 trailers of gravel that was delivered to him. So
okay.
Yeah, so
I mean, honestly, as you said, a couple of bicycles. Of course, if you drive over grass or something like that, then you can destroy the grass. That would be something. But if just driving on the gravel road, we're not really destroying a gravel road. But that's pretty interesting. But this brings me back actually to this year's route, where I have ridden most of these parts of the route that was the main event this year many times, and it's usually super nice, packed, smooth gravel. But then this time when I came out on the course, it was super loose and chunky pieces. Tell me about this incident. I think because we talked about it after the race. What happened there?
Actually, what happened was, I think there was one landowner in the area that he is fixing the roads, the common roads in the forest, like the common for the landowners.
Yeah.
And I think when he heard about there's going to be a race here, he was thinking that I will make some maintenance on the road to make it good. So he was out with his plow. And
so he thought he was doing good of it, but
yes.
it was just becoming even worse for us that was riding it.
And like this machine drew up big rocks and stuff. It was a disaster. But then it was very loose, especially for those who did recon just before. Yep. But then I think it was getting better and better when people were riding it, and I was riding the course like 2 weeks after the event, and at that time it was pretty good, I think. So but that man who did this, he had good intentions. He was trying to make it good, and it just went horrible. But
Peter, tell me another thing. Now I'm remembering the race as we speak, and I was passed by a superstar, a mega star of the sport, Marianne. She came past me, and I I got a lot of selfies with a lot of people during that day, of people that I've seen on just on TV or via Instagram in the previous past, and people that has given me inspiration, impressed me, and things like this. But I never got close to her. But tell me, how when you saw that she was coming, or however that happened, how did you feel? How do you feel about that? And sort of, yeah, what sort of came through your mind?
Yeah,
Such a superstar coming.
it was amazing. Actually, I got an email and with some questions, and and so I was just thinking, wow, Marianne Vos is coming to my race. Is this happening? But and then I couldn't. Before it was official in the in registration, I really couldn't tell about it. So, and it actually, this happened the same when Niki Terpstra. I got an email from him and that he wanted to come, and so I got both Marianne Vos and Niki Terpstra like in the same period. So that was a good week. And actually, any organizer in the world would be happy to have them on their race. So I feel very blessed about that, and they really make this race. Yeah, they both won the races, and
Yeah.
that's also good for me because they are both very big names.
Yeah, I mean, there was a super stacked field this year, right? Like some of the really big names within gravel: Lawrence
Yes.
Tandam, Eva
Yeah.
Slick, who won Unbound. Yes,
It was just amazing, and I think someone told me that this. I think the Gravel World Series representatives told me that I think he thought this was the best start list ever in Gravel World Series. So I was super proud, and but it lasted for 1 week. Before the weekend after, it was in Hoffalis and Wolf van
exactly.
Aert was racing, and yeah, that is a bigger name. So but to have that in 1 week, that's good enough for me. And next year it will be even better, I think, because we have a really good reputation out there. And when I was visiting at both European Championships in Belgium and in World Championships in Italy, I talked to a lot of people, and everybody knows about gravel gate and grind. Even people who on the highest level, and so and actually they don't only heard about it; they know things about the race. So on the highest level. So I'm very confident that we will have a really nice start list even next year. It will be even better, I think.
And just to mention that, what the date has been set already, right? It was announced. Was it last week or this week? I don't remember.
I think it will be announced any day, or if it has been announced. I don't.
Yes, I think I saw it somewhere
Yeah,
already
yes,
with the
yes.
dates. Maybe I shouldn't have seen it.
Um,
But
uh,
let's come back to the event itself. Like we talked a little bit about the preparation. What about the event itself? Let's take the Saturday, the main event. What are you doing on a day like that? What's going through your head? Kind of how are you feeling? Are you anxious? Are you happy? Are you
oh,
what's
yeah, it's actually it's very hard. It's a lot of pressure. So on Friday when we have our stage one, I'm very anxious, but that is releasing over for every stage we do. So and it's all, as a race organizer, when the start goes, it's like you are in the eye of the storm. Like, it's very calm. It can be very windy before and after, but when the race goes, it's normally very calm, and I can just relax.
Wow.
And so it's a very nice. I can, like, standing at the finish and just wait or whatever. If I done my job and everything is working, it's very calm for me during the race. But then when first finish, it start again, because then there are things to do, to yes, supervise, and then the podium ceremonies, and then when all that is done, we have to, like, move all the stuff to the next stage. Oh, that's so we have to, like, start planning for the next day, and like, pack everything and move it, and then pack it up and have a plan for the next day. But on Sunday, then I super relaxed. This year I was, it was so nice for me. I was very, the pressure was gone, and it was just fun for, like, it was so nice atmosphere at Gallberget at stage 3, and I felt very relieved. I think I met you there, and we were talking for a while, and it was very nice feeling. And that race was, it was super hard. They all told me when they come to finish, there were attacks, and it was everywhere, and they loved their course, and I wasn't really prepared on that, because I was focusing so much on stage 1 and stage 2, so I kind of forgot about stage 3, so I hadn't think about it so much. So I when I got all that positive comments, and it was, I was a bit surprised, and it was also very rewarded for me, like that it was positive comments and not negative. I wasn't prepared, but it so that gave me also, and I realized that stage 3 is, it's also real. People really want to race the third day. I was thinking the most of them will be tired, but it was like hardcore racing, and I did one mistake. I thought that it was the starting field would be very smaller than it actually was, and so I took the decision to not have a separate women start. So we start all together, and that I can admit that was a mistake. So next year we will have a separate start for women, also at stage 3. That's a promise I can make, because afterwards I felt that was a mistake to start everybody one bunch.
But that must be super difficult. I've heard as well from other races and other podcasts and people talking about how to start. Should we have separate start for the pros? Should there be different categories? Should we keep them apart? And all these things. But from a event organizer and race organizer perspective, what's your point of view on that? What's the difficulties and this decision-making process when it comes to the exact this start part of things?
Yes, it can be a matter of resources, how many motorbikes you have, and that kind of, and you want to. It can be a matter of that you don't want some marshals.
Mm-hmm.
You maybe you want to move them, and so you have you want to have your starting field quite compact.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of things can matter, but I think next year the concept in Gravel World Series it's evolving, and it will be a much better situation, because it will be more like the championships when it's a pure elite category, and then the age category will be separate from the elite, and that makes everything much easier for me as an organizer, because and also better for the riders, because now maybe the elite speed is too high for some of the age group riders, but they can go with this high speed in the beginning, and it can be, the speed is basically too high for them, and they will pay for it later. But if they don't have that elite engine in the front and have to keep the speed by themselves, that will lower their starting speed and make it more safer and a better experience for everybody, I think.
I think there's pros and cons, of course, for that, because it's pretty, from my perspective, being a mid-pack rider, just I've been ending up sort of in the middle somewhere, both races.
Yeah.
From a Finnish perspective, so I'm not great in any kind of way, and I haven't been able to train for it either, to be honest. But to be able to those first hour and a half or whatever it is, it's just the way that it has been right now is pretty cool as well. When it's so intense and you race with all these people, it's a huge pack. But then, if you think about it, how to make it a bit more fair, maybe, is that you should only race against those that is your age, or in your age group, maybe. Then it would be a bit more easier as well to sort of to really race. But I know it must be super difficult. So I completely understand that.
Yes.
Yeah, one thing that I want to ask you as well, Peter, is like UCI. This whole thing with gravel, right? It's been a huge thing in the US for many years. It's fairly new here in Europe if you compare, especially the racing side and the event side of things. And I know I listen to a lot of American podcasts about cycling and gravel cycling specifically. And there was the tone behind when they heard that UCI was stepping into the realm of gravel. They were like, no, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to gravel, that the UCI steps in. But from my point of view, it seems like it's been quite successful. But tell me, what's your point of view on this and UCI, and how is it to work with UCI? I mean, they are this huge governing body that does and have a lot of power over cycling. But what's your interacting with them? How is it, and what's your point of view?
I think I have actually on that topic I have two perspectives. The one perspective that works really good is with the Gravel World Series. It's run by Erwin Verwecken. He do it really good, and it's very easy to communicate with Erwin, and like he's holding it together. For me, it's perfect, I think, and it's also a humble attitude to like we start here, and then the gravel world series will evolve, and there will be changes, and it's not perfect the first year, and we will like make some adjustments, and like things on these 2 years things have really changed, and there has been some the gravel world series has listened to riders perspective, and so on, so I think that's the reason it worked, that the riders actually feel that that someone is listening, and it's things can change. So in gravel world series perspective, I think it works really good with the UCI and the organization. And then I have a different perspective that I can be more critical. We were running for World Championship 2028. We had a candidate for that with Hamsta.
Oh wow!
So, and we were working with this candidature, and we have some working with the contract, and actually in the end we had a signed contract, and it was supposed to be decided in Glasgow at the World Championship in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard that it was we and Denmark at the end, and we were thinking, maybe they give it to Denmark because that, and maybe they give it to us because of that and that. We couldn't really know, but then just the day before we heard about Saudi Arabia, Alula, and we thought, did I even had a candidate tour? We didn't know about it, or maybe we're not supposed to know. But and then it went to Saudi Arabia. So that, I think that was a really, like, I had some insights in the process, like from my perspective, what I had to do in different time. There is a timeline and so on, and it just felt I didn't feel really good about it. It was not only about losing. It was also that all of a sudden there was a candidate tour that came from nothing, I think, and if you, so I was, that felt quite bad, and I think that made me actually less enthusiastic about the UCI as a body for cycling. Actually, the insights from that process, but it's my experience and my feelings. So I can only tell things that I have experienced from what my work with the process. So I'm not sitting here telling something that actually it was just a feeling that I have, that this wasn't I was a bit disappointed. Yes.
Yeah, I understand that.
So.
I mean, of course, I am a little bit biased, but having the world champs in Sweden would have been amazing. We have so much great gravel roads. I mean, I'm really spoiled, and I think I get that comment as well, like from people on Instagram when they see pictures and videos that I make, and the nature and what the roads look like. People just say that it's like heaven on earth. I had so many people say similar things like that, and it is true. When it comes to this part, what we can offer, it is truly amazing. It is truly amazing. So I wish you all the best, and I hope that you do not let go of the dream of hosting the World Champs, because that would be amazing. So I really hope that you get the opportunity to be a candidate in that process again.
Yeah, we actually we have a concept, and it's not up to me, but we see if we run it again. Perhaps we do, perhaps not. It's not my decision, but if we do, I support it, of course. So we see what happened. Basically.
Super cool. So what's coming next now, Peter? Are you in the full sort of planning mode now for next year, or what's next?
Oh yes, I'm working with. I have a cyclocross racing Varberg, and this year we took it to UCI level C2, and from my perspective, it was a success. We have this super cool cyclocross arena with we have a big fortress, and we go around the fortress, and there is a little beach, and we go down on the beach, and we have like a moat, and we go over. We build a bridge over the moat, and yeah, it's a super cool arena and very nice place to have cyclocross events. So, I was so inspired from this year when we were taking this step up to UCI level, and got so much good feedback from the riders and so on. So next year we're planning for what to do next year, because that kind of applications must be done in December, and so on. So now it's the time to work with it. And so I'm planning that, and also I work with gravel grit and grind next year, because that planning also has started. And also we did with me and some friends, we did a movie from a fastest known time record attempt from the west coast to the east coast in Sweden on gravel roads. It's like 450 kilometers gravel road, and my friend Sebastian Oberg, he did it in 16 hours. It was just amazing. He's a pro triathlete, and he's super strong, and went like 16 hours, and I was supporting
16 hours on gravel roads.
Yeah, and no breaks, no.
Yeah, he didn't stop or anything.
Yeah, it was amazing, and he I can reveal it's a little bit of a spoiler, but he did it, and we also did a movie about this, like a 60 minutes movie. It's really fun. It's in Swedish, but it's really fun. And then we will have a we rented the theater in Varberg, and we will have a movie premiere. So we do a little event about that. So now we working with the film to do the film, the
super
editing
cool.
and stuff. And I'm not in that process, but I'm a part of the process. I'm not working with it like hands on, but I'm part of the process. So that kind of stuff. And also I have small events, and then in winter I will travel with the ski classic pro teams, and work with ski cross country skiing with the team support. So
cool.
That's what I do.
Amazing. I usually throw a little curveball as a last thing. So the last thing that I would like to ask you is actually not a question to you, but if you have a question to me about something.
Oh, that's yes. I I I have questions. It's I really like your reels, and you're sharing your experience from all the gravel experience you have. It's and I think you're doing you very inspire me and others really. So I can ask, what's your motivation for that?
Thank you. Thank first and foremost, thank you, Peter. That's hearing people say something like that, I still can't really understand it. I mean, when people write things and that they like my stuff, and then what I do and inspire them, it's kind of I still can't really understand it, that that's actually true. So also hearing it from you, having the resume that you have and the events that you have done now, and how people recognize you in the gravel scene, it's just that's a lot. So thank you very much. But motivation wise, I think for me it's about two things. Now this is just on top of my head. First and foremost, I cycle because I need it for my head. I know that if I go cycling, I clear my thoughts and I just feel better. So it's for my mental health. I've had a lot of trouble in the past, and cycling has really helped me to just become a better human being, to become a better father, to become a better person at work, and all those things. So just mental health in general, that's what motivates me. But then I am somewhat of a creative person as well. I have many years, I used to be a DJ. I played a lot of music. That's how sort of I got my creativity flowing to some extent. I've been also been drawing and painting in the past and stuff like that. But then it's just happened that now my motivation and creativity, I get to be creative, like doing these kind of things, like creating the reels and stuff like that. And I just think it's fun. And since I'm not doing it full time, it's not my job per se. I don't take it too serious either. So I can experiment, I can test do different things and stuff like that. So it's just fun. So yeah, those two things, I think. So thank you for that awesome question, Peter. That was fun.
No, but, thank you.
Super. Thank you very much for this. I'm really stoked about Gravel Grit and Grind, and I will do everything that I can to attend definitely this Saturday, but hopefully the whole stage race next year. That is on my list for next year. And I have my wife is nice as well, so I think we're going to be able to solve that somehow. No, but thank you very much. This has been super interesting to listen to you talk about how to organize one of the biggest events in the world and in the biggest series that is right now. There are so many participants and so many people joining. It's just becoming a huge thing within cycling. So thank you very much, Peter, for joining.
Thank you. It was very nice to be here.
Wow, that was super amazing to listen to Peter. Extremely inspiring. I had no idea that he actually left his full-time job to do this. I'm beyond stoked to have attended these events so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this will evolve into, with already having all the superstars attending. Hope you can make it as well. Be sure to follow Gravel Grit and Grind on Instagram. Hit me with your thoughts and ideas. What do you think about UCI stepping into the realm of gravel? Are they killing the spirit of gravel, or is it just an add-on and an improvement to what we already were doing? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, so you will see even more of content like this. Have a nice